record-loving friends, it's Brian from tokyorecordstyle, back on Aoyamadori for part 3 of this series where I'm featuring some installations at the Sogetsu School of Ikebana. In the first video that I made here, I was really impressed to come back and see this amazing installation by some of the people who study Sogetsu Ikebana here. It's a way of life, more Ikebana, more life. Life is Ikebana. And what really impressed me about it last year was that it changed from the beautiful green bamboo installation, slightly different configuration, actually completely different configuration. And within a day, it changed from a very rich green to this beautiful gold that it's become. Maybe the bamboo had been cut earlier or had been installed later, but for whatever reason, I expected it to change in one day. That was the experience that I had last year. It changed so quickly, but I came back the following week and it was still really green. And now that I'm back again a week later, I can see that it did change to the gold that I was referencing before. So this has been a long, ongoing task to share this with you, but I'm very excited. In the first episode, I shared about Ikebana and a little bit about the Sogetsu school and my friend Jesse, who practices here. And in the second episode, I shared about the color green and how Japan doesn't actually have this word for color green. And today, I got another little treat to share with you. But before I do, look how beautiful these installations have become, this beautiful gold. The bamboo that has been taken apart down the lines of these fibers have now become the same color of the golden that they are on the inside as they are on the outside. And it has created a new installation, a new artwork, a living artwork, and it's really, really fantastic. And now that we can walk around it, we can experience it from all different sides, and it's very, very groovy. All different kinds of new shapes and explorations, and from every angle it looks really different. Really, absolutely fantastic. It looks totally different with the big, giant gold ribbons that are flowing through the stalks of bamboo. And I saw some people coming inside upstairs. I was invited to come up and check out some of the installations. I'm not sure we'll have time, but today I brought you a special treat. Because I did my best to talk about the color green and about how Japanese green didn't really come into the lexicon until much after the initial establishing of the language. For that reason, there's lots of things in Japanese that are green that they call blue. They're remnants of a time when they didn't have a word for green. Things that were green were on the colder side of the tone temperature. Green fell into blue, but now there is a word for green. It's midori, and there's a color for blue. It's ao. And so today I dug out some records, some green records from my collection for fun, and I'm going to talk about a little bit about them today. It's raining a little bit, so forgive me if there's a glare. I'm going to leave them in the shrink here. They're in a little bit chronological order, starting with Walter Wanderley, Rainforest. This was a record that came out in 1966. He is known as Brazilian's best organist, a king of bossa nova, and I probably had this record that I inherited from my grandparents, actually, and it's probably the reason that they had an organ in their home with a bossa nova rhythm section. And on the back of this record that's produced on Verve and mastered by Rudy Van Gelder, it says here, if you like Ella, Duke, Count, Sinatra, you'll love Walter Wanderley's music, signed by Tony Bennett, who I think Walter Wanderley toured with. Got very famous for the first song on here, Summer Samba. Da, 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 da. You know it from movies, you know it from the soundtrack of your life. It's got a kind of tiki torch mambo lounge vibe. You might have heard it in like Austin Powers or something. It's a groovy kind of party tune. My copies, you know, you can get this all day long for $5. A really great copy. Gets a little bit repetitive. There's piano sprinkled throughout the album, but it's mostly the organ tone, and yeah, it's a fun one to have and probably worth the price of $5. Okay, next up, dun, 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 Texas blues rockers ZZ Top, Trey, Hombres, which is a seminal rock and roll record that I know a lot of people who grew up in the era that this came out, I think 72, 73, 74 maybe. I know that they listened to this record religiously growing up, going to parties, hanging out, and it's a wickedly cool record. My copy is thrashed. This was their third record, I think, from 74, 73. Again, I think they're in chronological order. It has this hilarious and awesome Mexican dinner insert that if you have the gatefold, it's on the gatefold, but mine's an insert. But how delicious does that meal look? And this is a Japanese press with all the Japanese lyrics. I scored my copy from Replaced Records in Nishiogi Kubo, and I think it was only $1. And this has got some incredible tunes on it. Trey Hombres starts out with a ripping riff from Waiting for the Bus and goes directly into Jesus Left Chicago, and he headed down to New Orleans. Really groovy blues tune. I love to play that one on the guitar. Also covered by one of my favorite bands, Fish. Beer Drinkers and Hellraisers, a song that will just make you want to party. Master of Sparks, Hot Blue and Righteous is a beautiful ballad that closes side 1. Then side 2 opens with Move Me On Down the Line, Precious and Grace, followed by the standout track and the big hit from the album, LaGrange. Now it's time, if you got the time, and that hold down plan at LaGrange. You know what I'm talking about, a lot of nice girls down there. Awesome tune. So from ZZ Top, a nice green record. I think Acoustic Sound is just a UHQR of this. I probably need a new copy of that. Okay, moving along chronologically from 1975, we have Robert Palmer's debut album, Sneakin' Sally Through the Alley. Sneakin' Sally Through the Alley. Super funky, awesome record that is chock full of amazing musicians, Alan Toussaint, The Meters, Aaron Neville, and I heard that Robert Palmer came into the studio and nobody knew who he was, and he just outshined everybody with a bit of Northern Soul from the UK. Side 1 opens up with a Lowell George tune, Sailing Shoes, Hey Julia, and then the title track written by Alan Toussaint, Sneakin' Sally Through the Alley, which is so funky and cool. And it's a great song to play at a set. It gets everybody grooving. And again, Fish covers this one, and that's probably how I came to know it. I remember Robert Palmer from Might As Well Face It, I'm Addicted to Love. That was like an MTV hit. But when I went back and explored this first offering from his, holy cow, the whole record is a punch to the gut. It's a heavy, heavy hitter. This is a killer record. Sneakin' Sally Through the Alley. Okay, from 1981, another green record here. Greg Brown. If you don't know Greg Brown, you ought to. Greg Brown is a American treasure, a folk singer who didn't get so much limelight, and this is his very first record on Red House Records. And Greg Brown is an American singer if there ever was one. He sings about being from Iowa, he sings about growing up in the country, he sings about farms and tractors and country fairs and fireflies and having daughters and Mississippi Serenade, Walking the Beans, Out in the Country, King Corn. There's so many great lyrics on this album, and if you know Greg Brown's discography, he's got quite a lot of records, and this gives you a sense of where we're going with Greg Brown. He did so many great albums. The Poet Game, Further In are two of my favorites, but this is a really great one to start with. It just gives you a little sense of what's to come. The Iowa Waltz, the opening track, home in the midst of the corn, in the middle of the USA, here's where I was born, here's where I'm gonna stay. Iowa, Iowa, winter, spring, summer, and fall, come and see, come and dance with me to the beautiful Iowa Waltz. He says here in the intro, gazebos, park shelters, and water towers, endless fields lit by fireflies, Woodburn's fire station, the hot summer wind, Elsie Hamilton's hands doing a quiet dance as she recounts her life story. Ken Sickles' pond full of bass, but I didn't catch a one. My grandpa grumbling about the bean poles, a cool quarry at the end of a dusty day, canned goods for summer, Jenny and her little sister who can just barely walk, and her big sister who can run like the wind, heading home from the schoolhouse in Letts, all holding hands, young deer ambling through the brush, by Dog Creek near Peterson, green, green, green. Corn, trees, beans, and the huge sky above it. A few buildings half fallen down, a dog walking home right in the middle of the road after a good day, in no special hurry. These songs come from the people, small towns, animals, and the countryside of Iowa. Many of them were written on the run, from town to town as a member of the touring arts team sponsored by the Iowa Arts Council. I come from southern Iowa. I've lived in a lot of places since. Going back to the small towns was like going home. These songs are a homecoming too. Guys, check out Greg Brown. There's so many good offerings from him, and he's still with us, and he has one of the most beautiful baritone voices you've ever heard, and those who know Greg Brown will know what I'm talking about. Moving along to 76, Masaru Imada Trio +2. This is a new Three Blind Mice repress that I just scored yesterday, and I've only listened to about once. Masaru Imada is a famous Japanese jazz pianist and organist. I wouldn't necessarily call it a fusion record, but maybe it is. It's got some hints of Herbie. It's from 75. It's been lauded as Japanese primal 70s jazz. So I'm just getting into it. My friend Jason recommended me these Three Blind Mice. I've been seeing them on the record shelves for a long time, but he said, don't sleep on those. You should pick up a couple of them. And I started to pick up a few of them, and I've been rewarded for it. And this is a really standout one. that I'm excited to explore more. Masaru Imada on piano, Isao Fukui on bass, Tetsujiro Ohara on drums, maybe Obara, I think it might be, Kazumi Watanabe on guitar, and Yuji Imamura on congas, and all kinds of interesting percussion instruments. Very groovy, and I love the green caterpillar here, and Imada-san looks just supremely cool. So a very cool one from Three Blind Mice. I've started my Three Blind Mice collection, and for my last green album, I'm going with one from Trey Anastasio of Fish. This is a solo work of his from 2012 that stands alone in his solo discography. It was a purely studio album. It was produced along with Matt and Brian from The National and some other members from Bon Iver and others, and it's really fantastic. He's not playing his Languedoc guitar. I think he's playing a Jaguar. He's playing a Fender Jag, and it's all about soundscape. And it's chock full of very interesting tracks and has a beautiful artwork on it. It actually includes a bonus 7-inch and download card, and it also had a single with it. And you can see there's an orange version of the 7-inch, the same artwork but in a different motif, and both the record and the 7-inch are in this beautiful gold color wax, and there was a single that came along with it, and the single also has the same kind of design here, and it was on red wax, and so that's kind of cool. And I just wanted to point out that I also have the CD of this, and the CD makes it a little bit easier to see this beautiful artwork. It's a big giant artwork, and on the LPs you can only see like a sliver of it, 1/3 of it. But it has Trey on vocals, guitar, and keyboards. It was all heavily composed and charted, and everybody who came in had to have a lot of musical reading prowess to be able to follow along. On background vocals is Matt Berenger, Natalie Cressman, Corey Gardner, Jennifer Hartswick, Tom Marshall. Oh, interesting, I didn't know that. Tom Marshall, who's Fish's primary lyricist. Bass was Tony Marcalis, rest in peace. Amazing rhythm section here with Russ Lawton on drums. And horns by, again, Natalie Cressman and Jennifer Hartswick, and keyboards by Ray Pachkowski, who also plays in Trey band, and keys also by Tom Marshall. And these tunes are really cool. It has this beautiful triumphant opener in the tune Corona, which, even though this came out in 2012, was really appropriate for what we survived in 2020. Let Me Lie, Frost, Land of Nod, which has these crazy funky tubas on it. It's very progressive and weird, and it's got movements and very fun. Pigtail, which is on the single, and Scabbard. Clint Eastwood, the Gorillaz single, I Ain't Happy, I'm feeling that I got sunshine. In a bag, I'm useless, but not for long, our future is coming on. It's cool, it's really groovy, a Trey version of the Gorillaz. Architect and Traveler fit on the CD, but they didn't fit on the vinyl, so they put them on the A-B side of the bonus 7-inch, and Traveler is a really, really killer tune. And I happen to have 2 copies of this, so if you're looking for a copy, let me know. These are, I think, in high demand. So there are my 5 green records, or is it 6? It might even be 7. I brought my green records to show off this beautiful green installation that has now turned to gold. I'm very happy to close out this 3-part series from the Sogetsu School of Ikebana. I think they open here in a little bit, and maybe, I think you guys didn't really care so much about Ikebana, but I think I'm gonna go enjoy this up here, and if you want to hear about it, then come get on one of the live streams maybe, and I'll talk about it in a future episode. Okay guys, thank you so very much. Hope you like that. Like and subscribe if you did. Thank you for indulging me for another video here, and until next time, I will see you out here at the Sogetsu School of Ikebana. I figured out Sol means grass and Getsu means moon. It's grass moon. The Grass Moon School of Ikebana. Doesn't the gold change it? If you guys have been following along, doesn't the gold just make it all the more beautiful? It's really, really stunning. I'm so happy I got to experience the evolution of this piece. Okay guys, until next time, see you, bye. Ikebana is life.